Hello students, again, and welcome to Mr. Reyes Limitless English. As of now, for today, we have the Unit 3 in the book English ID Introduction. So the first thing that we have is, what do you do? What do you do? The answer that we want with this is, what is your occupation? Normally, when we ask, what do you do? Then you can answer, or I am, in my case, I am a teacher. You can say it according to your job. What do you do? You can say, I'm a lawyer, I'm a dentist, I'm a doctor, or what you do for a living. On the first part of the audio, I'm going to play it. It says, how do you pronounce jobs A to E? Listen to clerk, then match photos 1 through 5. So according to the listening, they have some of these jobs that we have here, and the idea is that you can get the pronunciation. So listen and repeat.
Audio 3.1. Don't miss Fabulous Families. Tonight, the topics are TV series characters and their jobs. What does your favorite TV character do? Is he or she a bank cashier, a doctor, an engineer, a police officer, a university professor? Tonight at 8 o'clock on KYZ TV.
All right, just in case, here we have a bank cashier, a doctor, engineer, police officer, university professor, lawyer, waiter, hairdresser, search clerk, and IT professional. Those are the people that deal with the computers. On the next part, it says here on the B part, read the word of English and common mistakes, then write A or N before the job in A. Very important. You need to find out, when do we use A, when do we use N. A and N, that means one, but they have a specific rule. So the usual question for occupation is, what do you do? What does he or she do? To answer, use the verb be, A or N, and I'm a student. He is a dentist. Be careful with adjectives. He is unemployed. In that case, this is an adjective. That is not a job in that aspect. But you can say, I am a teacher. He is a student. So use A or N in order to answer in this part. 3.2, listen to a TV show to check and match 8 jobs from A to the participants, which 2 jobs are not mentioned. So listen what they say about the jobs and what 2 jobs are not mentioned. Right? Use your book just in case, because this part is more, so you could have the audio with no problem and be able to do and complete everything there. All right? Listen, then complete.
Audio 3.2. Good evening and welcome to Fabulous Families. I am Louis Green, and these are tonight's Fabulous Families. Hello, guys. How are you tonight?
Fine, good evening.
Great.
Here's Team A, the Smiths. Can we have your names, guys? Who are you and what do you do?
My name's Tessa. I'm a hairdresser.
Ha! Tessa, the hairdresser. I'm Paul, and I'm a sales clerk. And this is my wife, Gloria.
Yes, that's right. And I'm a lawyer.
What? Gloria the lawyer?
Hello, everybody. I'm Fred. I'm a waiter.
Thank you. What about Fabulous Families Team B, the Andersons? Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Maria. I'm an engineer.
Maria, the engineer.
And this is my husband.
Thank you, Maria, dear. My name's Roger, and I'm a police officer.
I'm a bank cashier. My name's Sophia.
No way. Sophia, the cashier, too?
I'm James, and I'm very happy to be here.
Great, James. And what do you do?
Oh, sorry. I'm an IT professional.
Thank you all. And now let's start our quiz with the first question.
All right, make sure that you replay so like that you can get that pronunciation and understanding, and get ready just in case some of those questions might be the questions for your oral exam. Make sure. All right, 3.3, listen to the extracts and say he or she the correct jobs from after the beep. All right, so listen to it, and according to when you listen, you are supposed to create sentences talking about the information that they give you there. Listen and complete.
Audio 3.3. 1.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is impossible.
She's a lawyer. 2.
Okay, guys, this is great. Good job.
He's an engineer. 3.
100, 200, 355. Thank you. Have a nice day.
She's a bank cashier. 4. Okay, 1 coffee, 1 tea, and a Coca-Cola with lemon. He's a waiter. 5.
Okay, say ah. Thanks. Oh, don't worry. You're okay.
She's a doctor. 6.
Uh-huh. Ooh. No. Ooh. There. Beautiful.
He's a hairdresser. 7.
This shirt? It's $100. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Do you have it in black?
She's a sales clerk. 8.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today's topic is the history of feminism.
She's a university professor. 9.
Yes! It works! This new program works! I'm rich!
He's an IT professional. 10.
Stop! Stop! Stop that man! Stop! Stop! Got you, you horrible man!
He's a police officer. Audio 3.3. 1.
Make sure that you listen again in order to make sure that you get that pronunciation too. Okay? Let me go down to the next exercise. Next exercise, it says, in pairs, try to remember and say the jobs of participants 1 through 8. So you can start practicing about those, right? About the police officer and the cashier, the ones that they got there. Right? What do you do? Or What do you want to do? Ask your teacher for the name of your job in English. Well, you're not going to ask me directly because we are recording this so you can get it. But make sure that you investigate just in case your job is not inside the book, right? Necessary, complete the notes. I am, and this will be basically what you do now. Maybe what you do now, you're doing it because there is no other choice. Or maybe your father has, we could say, a store and you're working in the store as a family thing, but maybe that is not what you want. And what you want is basically whenever you complete your university, what you want to be, or the things that activates you to go out and do things every day, right? So here we got a couple of questions. Ask your classmates about their jobs. Are you a student? What do you want to be? What do you do? Meaning, like, what is your profession, or you know the things that you do now? I am a housewife. A housewife is a wife that doesn't work but is in a house doing everything in the house. What do you want to be? I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a teacher. Whatever you want to be, then you complete it and you put it here and start practicing those things. Right? Regular plurals at S, one doctor, two doctors. Don't use A and N with the plurals because A and N, remember, they mean one. Okay? And in the other class, we had that A and N, you use A when the next thing that is coming after the A, it's a vowel. And you use N when it's a consonant that is coming. The noun, it's a consonant, but it's short. All right, let's go down to the second part. In the second part here, it says listening. Listen to part of the two fabulous families. Check the characters you hear and match them to their jobs. So the idea here is that you can listen and then you could say what are their jobs. All right, what do they do? Ross Carter, Mr. Cooper, Elliot, Sheldon, and Lisa. So you want to say, according to the listening, what are their jobs? All right, listen and complete that part. What are their jobs?
Audio 3.4. A. Do you live in a house or an apartment? B. Do you live alone? C. Do you have children? D. How old are they?
Looks like that was
Audio 3.4.
Let me check the other one.
A. Do you live in a house or an apartment? B. Do you live alone?
No, it looks like that audio is not there directly.
C.
The audio for 2.3, but it's right. All right, in this case, the idea is that you can know and check according to what they say if they are doctors, police officers, scientists, or an university professor. Right, from those that you have there, even though I don't have the audio directly, you can get the audio and check who is a police officer, who is a doctor, who is a scientist, and who is an university professor from the ones that you got there. All right, let me go to the next one to see if we have the next part. 3.6, listen and practice. It said here, practice the sentences. Ross, university professor, is well, they're going to give you information, and then you got to say, or you got to practice according to what they say. That'll be 3.5. Let me get it. And it's right here.
Audio 3.5.
Excuse me. Hello. Can I ask you some questions about your job?
Oh, hi. Sure.
What's your name?
My name's Joshua.
Joshua, are you unemployed?
No, I'm not.
So do you work?
Yes, I do.
And, what do you do?
I'm an engineer.
Okay. Do you work freelance?
No, I don't.
Do you work at home?
No, I don't.
Where do you work?
In an office?
Oh, okay. And do you like your job?
Yes, I do.
Great. Thanks.
No problem.
All right, the idea
Audio
of that
3.
is that you could listen and repeat. So like that, when they ask you some similar question, then you can check their answers. So it's asking about Ross. Is he a university professor? Or he's a university professor? What is the job that they were talking about on that aspect? Okay. On the next part, it says here, favorite TV series, characters, occupations. Alisa Flori, she's the good wife, according to the one we got there. And my favorite is Alisa Flori from Good Wife. She's a lawyer, according to that series that we got there. Remember too, to complete your workbook, here it says page 97, but after you finish with all this unit, you complete all the pages that we have according to that units. The next question, it says, do you have brothers and sisters? All right, do you have brothers and sisters? Yes, I do. I have 3 more brothers, and I have 5 more sisters. What about you? Do you have brothers and sisters? If you don't have any brothers and sisters, that means that you are an only child. All right? If you have brothers and sisters, you can say, how many brothers, how many sisters do you have? Now, different than Spanish. In Spanish, normally we say, I have brothers, and that means the 2 of them. Right? In English, no. In English, for the girls and the boys, is different. So make sure that you get that part and that you practice. Right? Because in English, is brothers for brothers only, the ones that are boys. And sisters for the ones that are girls. All right? So make sure that you practice that part and that you understand it. Now here we have the Game of Thrones, and you are supposed to put people according to where they belong, you know, like being a father, the brother, whatever they belong in this aspect. You got to put them according to the reading that we have here. So make sure that you read this. It says here Game of Thrones is a fantasy TV scientist HBO based on series of fantasies. Novels by George R. Martin is an epic medieval story about politics. Was love and family. Queen Caesar Lannister is the wife of King Robert Baratheon, and she has 3 children, 2 sons, Joffrey and Tommen, and a daughter. Mariella, twin Lancasters, is her father's, and Tyrone and Jaime are her brothers. So the idea of this part is that you could read it, so like that you could understand it. Whatever you don't understand from there, make sure that you get your dictionary, and that you could create something similar to that about you. All right? For example, I have 3 brothers, 2 sisters, I live with my mothers, and so on. Something similar to that. Practice, practice, practice. So say, listen and read the ad, the program, and answer 1 through 4. So after listening, you're gonna answer 1 through 4. What channel is it on? And the rest of the things that we got there. All right, let me play it to you. So see, we have that audio, and then after that, we'll continue to the next part. That'll be 3.6.
Audio 3.6.
Superman has a big S on his uniform because he is the 3rd person.
Audio 3.6.
Game of Thrones is a fantasy TV series on HBO based on a series of fantasy novels by George R. Martin. It's an epic medieval story about politics, war, love, and family. Queen Cersei Lannister is the wife of King Robert Baratheon, and she has 3 children, 2 sons, Joffrey and Tommen, and a daughter, Myrcella. Tywin Lannister is her father, and Tyrion and Jaime are her brothers.
All right, according to that listening, that was the listening of this part. make sure that you practice it so you can read it similar and so you can help with your pronunciation. After that, you answer questions 1 through 4 there and continue. Read the ad and complete the table with the highlight words. What is woman, man, both men and woman? All right, here we got mother. What else do we have that is a mother? We got husband, son, so you complete according to the spaces that we got there. Here you have to complete what goes there. The men, what are they? You got to complete what goes here, what goes here, and here. It says now complete searches family 3. Listen and check and repeat the family words. Test a partner A and say the singular forms B. Say the plural forms. Right here, the idea is that you can listen to what we got here. What are the personal forms that we got there? Listen to 3.6 so you can get that audio. 3.7, I'm sorry.
Audio 3.7.
Do you live near the office?
Yes, I live with my family in an apartment near the park. Where do you live, Matt?
Oh, I live downtown with my cat. Her name is Celia. She's fantastic.
What? Do you really like cats? I hate them.
Really? I love cats. I love all animals.
Do you have any animals, Sarah?
Yes, I have a dog and my son has a hamster. What kind of things do you like, Rich?
Oh, chocolate, cars, movies, and good wine. I don't like work, and I don't like my office.
Right, the idea of this exercise is that you can ask the question to you and you can answer according to that question. All right, give you information about member of the family, mind, what you can express. Guess who he or she is, and you can talk about the things that you do in that aspect. If not, you replay the audio again, so like that you can get that pronunciation and understand it a lot better. All right, the present simple we got here. We're happy. We're a happy family. We're a happy family. We're a happy family. Me, mom, and dad. That is basically what they're thinking. This says listen and match the conversation 1, 2, 3. So you listen, and according to what they say in the listening, you gotta match and check if this one is the one that they're talking about, or this one is the one that they're talking about, or this one is the one that they're talking about. So listen and complete this part. Let's see.
Audio 3.8. 1.
Do you live alone?
No, I don't. I live with my mother.
What's her name?
Her name's Anna.
2.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do. I have a son.
What's his name?
His name's Daniel.
3.
Do you have a big family?
No, I don't have siblings. I'm an only child.
All right. So when it comes to siblings, basically the most important siblings means the other ones that are your brother or sister. It includes them two together. And in some other stages, they use it too as family members, but more as brothers and sisters. 3.9, complete extract 1 to 3 with these words, listen and check and repeat. So listen and you complete where these words go. Don't, family, have, live, son, and with. Listen and complete.
Audio 3.9. 1.
Do you have children?
Yes, I do. I have a son.
2.
Do you live alone?
No, I don't. I live with my mother.
3. Do you have a big family?
No, I don't have siblings. I'm an only child.
Audio 3.9.
All right, you repeat it again for
1.
if you want to listen it again. Remember, the idea is more that you can have all the audio, you can replay it. All right, read the mystery man who pretends to be Reed. Notice the bold words and circle the correct options 1 to 3. So here you read about this man, and after you read, then you complete according to these words that we got here. If it says his or your name, your or her, you complete they or their according to the one that we're supposed to complete in that part. All right, it says it got more grammar in page 66, so make sure that you check the grammar too that is in page 66 of your book. Here it says I have 2 brothers, I live with my sisters, and the negative would be I don't have a big family. I don't live alone. Okay? The next part, we're looking for the next audio. Follow the model. Practice the questions and answer. All right, so that'll be 3.10. The idea is that you can listen and that you can practice. Children. Do you have children? Or a question about children? And so on. Listen to that part so you can complete it and practice it.
Audio 3.10.
Children. Question.
Make a question with
Do you have children?
Affirmative.
I have children.
Negative.
I don't have children.
Now you do it. Children. Question.
Do you have children?
Affirmative.
I have children.
Negative.
I don't have children.
A son. Question.
Do you have a son?
Affirmative.
I have a son.
Negative.
I don't have a son.
Right, make sure that you repeat it again if you need it. The idea is that you can create sentences and you can say the affirmative and the negative in the simple present. Right, I have a son. I don't have a son. Do you have a son? Do you have a daughter? And things like that. All right, here we have match 1 through 6 to their responses. So here you got 1 through 6. So each one of them has the answer on this side. So you check what will be the answer. For number 1, do you have brothers and sisters? So you put what will be the answer, all the continuance of number 1 there. The same thing with number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Good. Let me heat it up a little. It says here, the next question basically that we have is where do you work? Where do you work is asking more for the place. Well, I work at McDonald's, I work at the Sirena, I work at, and then you need to say the place. Where is asking you for a place. And maybe you want to think about what is the best place to work. If you're thinking about the money, or are you thinking about what you love to do? Well, either way, if you're thinking about the money, then most of the time people say that is the best work so you can make money. And the same thing, if it's what you love doing, then it might be the best place for you. Like Mr. Reyes, I love teaching. So for me, teaching would be the best thing to do and the best place to work on teaching. I don't know. It could be personal or even online, but it's good. Vocabulary, places of work. Here we have places. Guess the pronunciation of the 4 places in group 1. Then match photos A to E to the 5 places in group 2. check with a partner. It says in a bank, in a hospital, in a restaurant, in a school, downtown, in a drugstore, at home, in an office, in a travel agency. A lot of people right now, they are working from home because of the things that are going on, right? Now here, common mistakes. I work in the downtown. No, I work downtown, we say. Okay? I work at home. A lot of people say I work in home is at home. She's not here. She's in school. She is at school. So make sure that you are checking this and that you are memorizing the way that we are supposed to talk in that aspect. 3.11 says listen to a podcast in numbers, the places in order 1 through 9. What is the podcast about? All right, so you need to find out what is the podcast about. Here we have the pictures that you are supposed to see. Well, I'm gonna push it up a little so you can see it after I start the audio. And that's basically what you're supposed to complete there. Let me put it so we can do that part.
Audio 3.11.
Many people don't have a job. But on today's program, we talk to people who have not one, but 2 jobs. Where do they work? In a school and in a restaurant? In a hospital and a drugstore? Or in a travel agency and in a bank or an office? Do they work downtown? Do they work at home? Let's hear their stories.
Audio 3.11.
Many people don't have a job. But on today's program, we talk to people who have not one, but 2 jobs. Where do they work?
All right, according to what they mentioned there, you got to put the order of the places that they mentioned. Remember, they said a place, a work, a hospital, and things like that. All right, in 3.2, it says, listen to the broadcast and write their second jobs. Check their favorite jobs. You're going to listen to this, and what is their job, and what is their favorite job. According to the listening, make sure that you complete.
Audio 3.12.
What do you do, Hannah?
I have 2 jobs. I'm a secretary and a sales clerk.
A secretary. Do you work in an office?
Yes, I do. I work in a law office downtown, but only in the mornings.
And where do you work as a sales clerk?
In a drugstore, but only in the afternoons.
Which do you prefer?
Oh, a sales clerk. It's great.
Okay, so who got
What do you do, Victor?
I'm a web designer, and I'm a waiter too.
I see. Where do you work as a web designer?
Well, I'm freelance and I work at home. It's fabulous.
And a waiter? Do you work in a restaurant?
Yes, I work in an Italian restaurant in Brooklyn. It's a terrible, horrible job. Audio 3.12.
Right, the idea there is that you can listen and complete those parts, but at the same time, that you can get that pronunciation for you. All right, where do you work? And what do you do? Do you have a double job? Do you have 2 jobs? And what are the jobs that you have, if so? All right, it says here 3.12, listen again. Where do they work? Write Hannah or Victor next to the 4 places. So you listen to it again and you check. 3.13, listen, check, and repeat, pronounce the K in work in connection with the preposition. So I'm going to put the next audio, 3.13, so you can listen to that and you can practice that pronunciation.
Audio 3.13.
I work in a drugstore. I work in an office.
I work at home. I work in a restaurant. Audio 3.13.
I work in a drugstore. I work in an office.
I work at home. I work in a restaurant.
Audio 3.13.
Right, make sure that you continue practicing and repeat it again if you have to, so you can get that pronunciation. Right, 3.14, it says here, complete 1 through 6 in the grammar box. Listen to check. So the idea is that you can complete this grammar box. So listen to the audio so you can complete it. Make sure that you continue practicing this part, especially the grammar part.
Audio 3.14.
Do you work at home?
Do you want to be a doctor?
Do you live here?
What do you do?
Where do you work?
Where do you want to work?
Audio 3.4.
All right, make sure that you repeat it again, just in case. As they talk, you are supposed to complete the parts that we got here. Good, good. B, match these answers to the questions 1 through 6. In pairs, practice them. So if you have more students next to you, or practice with your brother or with your husband or with your wife, so you can continue practicing English. No, I don't. I want to be a lawyer. Right? The idea is that you can match these answers to the questions that we had on the top. Okay? Some lines can help you learn grammar. For example, notice that they use do for questions and done for negative statements. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Because boys don't cry, boys don't cry. Well, that is a song. If you know the lyrics of the song, or if you like it, try to get it and practice it. You can practice your English. 3.15, follow the model, practice the questions and answer. Where do you work? I work in an office. So listen to the audio and repeat so you can get your pronunciation. 1 second. You want to see it here. Check it and practice.
Audio 3.15.
Work. Question.
Where do you work?
Exactly.
An office. I work in an office.
Yep.
Work. Question.
Where do you work?
Where do you work? A bank.
I work in a bank.
Now you do it. Work. Question.
You make the question.
Where do you work?
An office. I work in an office.
Okay, continue practicing. Repeat it again if you have to. Okay? Says D, mark it personal. Make it personal. What do you do? And this could be questions asked in your oral exam because they are personal questions and they are about the book. So make sure that you get those answers. And maybe I will ask you about these questions within one of our classes. So what do you do? Where do you work? If you are a student, what do you want to do? Where do you want to work? In general too. Even if you're not a student, maybe you want to do something different, right? Do the questionnaires, answer questions 1 and put a check mark or an X in columns A to answer the other questions. In pairs, like if you got more students, ask and answers to complete columns B. If the questionnaire with your partners answers, do you and your partners have anything in common? So in this case, especially if we have like a big class, a normal class, then we try to complete a questionnaire in the classroom, right? So here it says, don't use A or N for adjectives. I don't have a job. I'm unemployed. We don't work now. We are 65. We are retired in that aspect. So here in this case, it says, do you know what's best for you? Do you know what's best for you? Well, to learn English is best for you right now, right? What do you want to do? I am, or I want to be. Do you want to work, or do you work? At home, do you work in an office? Do you work in a store? Do you work in a bank? Do you work downtown? Do you work as a freelancer? Right? Usually, these are information so you can start your oral exam in that aspect. Okay? Allow me just a moment that I hit it down. Make sure that you are checking and that you are practicing. Right? 3.4, we have here, where does your mother work? Here is asking about work, but about family members, so you can use the grammar for the third person. She works, right? People with unusual jobs. This week, we interview Nottage, a New York City limo driver. Hey, it is not usual. New York State, here you got driver's license, all right? And you have his information. Okay? The listening, 3.16, it says read 1 through 7, then listen to the interview. True or false. So after you listen, you complete if what they say is true or false. Okay? Listen and complete this exercise.
Audio 3.17. 1.
Where's he from?
He's from Pakistan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put 3.17.
2.
3.16.
Where does he live?
He lives in New York.
Right there. Now, yes.
Audio 3.16.
Where are you from, Natesh?
I'm from Islamabad, Pakistan.
And you live here in New York City, right?
Yes, that's right. I live in Queens.
Do you live alone?
No. I live with my parents and my brother, Arul.
What do your parents do?
My parents don't work. They're retired.
And your brother? What does your brother do?
My brother doesn't have a job. He's, unemployed.
Oh, okay. Are you married, Natesh?
No, I'm not, but I have a girlfriend. Her name's Riva. She's from India.
I see. You're a limo driver, right? Where do you work?
I work in the Manhattan area, 13 hours a day.
That's a lot, isn't it? And what do you think of your job?
Oh, I think it's very interesting. I love my limo.
All right. He loves his limo. And working as a limo driver, yes, it is good money, just in case. 3.17, it says all of the words 1 through 8 to make questions about Natesh. Match them to the answers, listen, check, and repeat. Now, the idea here is that you can complete the questions so you can put them in the correct order. Right? So in your book, make sure that you complete this part and listen and complete. Nice.
Audio 3.17. 1.
Where's he from?
He's from Pakistan.
2. Where does he live?
He lives in New York.
3. Does he live alone?
No, he lives with his parents.
4. Does he have a sister?
No, he doesn't. He has a brother.
5. Is he married?
No, but he has a girlfriend.
6. What does he do?
He's a limo driver.
7. Where does he work?
He works in Manhattan.
8. Does he like his job?
Yes, he does.
All right, make sure that you play it again, just in case you need it a little more. The idea is to complete that exercise. And the main idea, too, here is so you can have all the audios. It says here, in pairs, ask and answers 1 through 8 to test your partner's memory. All right, try to use those questions for you, for your personal information. All right, do you work? Where do you work? And things like that, so you can practice this part of English. Okay? Grammar, the present simple, third person singular, says read the common mistakes and complete the label with does or doesn't. Add s to the verbs where necessary. Right? The present simple, we got here the third person. It's different than our language when it comes to that, or than other languages. Okay? He and she, we use an s, has a brother for the verbs. All right? We would put an X here. Works, New York, lives with a friend. And in the negative, we put doesn't, all right? Doesn't, and then after that, the verb goes in the regular form. So he doesn't, and then the verbs have a sister. She doesn't work at home. She doesn't live alone. So the S is only for the positive, not the negative. All right, now the question, does he or she have sisters? In the questions, then we don't put the yes, okay? And then here, yes, he, and then we answer with does. So make sure that you are checking on this part and that you are memorizing this part. And no, she doesn't, in that sense. 3.8, it says, follow the mother and practice the sentences. So, I live alone, I have a brother, she has a brother, he lives alone. Listen so you can complete it, and so you can have the listening and practice at the same time.
Audio 3.18.
I live alone. He
lives alone.
I have a brother. She
has a brother.
Now you do it. I live alone. He
lives alone.
I have a brother. She
has a brother.
I work at home. She
works at home.
I don't have a sister. He
doesn't have a sister.
I live with a friend. She
lives with a friend.
Audio 3.18.
All right, the idea here, guys, is that you can use the correct form of the grammar in order to talk about the simple present on the first, second, third person, or everybody that we got there. Make sure that you're practicing that part, so like that you can answer easy in that aspect. Okay, on the next part, or the next exercise, even though it's not, it doesn't get audio, there you're supposed to complete that information that we got there. Person, mine, it could be your brother, your mother, a family member. Then the name, lives in, lives with, the occupation, and place of work. So the idea is that you can get a family member or somebody, so you can ask that information, and then you can have that information there. That should be in your books. Remember, everybody should have their books and be completing their books. In pair, ask and answer to get the statements about the other person shows in the profit of your cards. All right, so there, the idea is that you can get information and you can talk to other students in order to get that information from their friends or family members. All right, so who is this person? She's my mother. She is, and then whatever she is an actress, a doctor, and what you want to put there. Another question, 3.5, do you live near here? So here we're talking about the places that you live, right? Do you live near the mall? Do you live near the Duarte? Do you live near? And then usually here basically means, or is asking for a place there. All right, listen and read the words of English, then look at Laura and Charlie's photos and try to predict what is happening there in that aspect. Now here we got 4 questions from their conversation. Do you like this music? Do you like this food? Do you like this class? Do you live near here? All right. And we got here, how are you? Is that good? What about you? What do you do? What do you study? And what do you want to eat? So at this point, everybody should be able to answer any of these questions. And yes, some of these questions, they are used for our oral exam. In number 2, it says, are they at a party, a movie theater, a school? And number 3, it says, are they brothers and sisters, husband and wife, or strangers? So listen and try to complete this part according to the listening that you're going to hear. All right? You got a couple of questions here. You got 3 questions, right? 3 questions. And listen, then look at Laura and Charlie's photo and try to predict 4 questions from their conversation, right? So listen and check the ones according to the listening that is happening in this part. There you go, right here. Okay, 3.19, good now.
Audio 3.19.
Listening isn't easy in any language. Here are 3 listening tips. 1. Before you listen, imagine the context and the words or phrases people use in that situation. 2. Know your objective. What exactly do I need to understand? 3. Don't expect to understand or mentally translate every word. It isn't necessary.
Audio 3.19.
Listen.
Audio 3.20.
Nice party.
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Laura.
Oh, hello. I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you live near here?
No, I live downtown. What about you?
I live near here.
What do you do, Laura?
I'm unemployed at the moment, but I'm a university student.
I see. What do you study?
I study information technology, IT.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm an IT professional.
Listen again and complete.
Audio
select the
3.20.
questions that they asked and the answer for 2 and 3.
Nice party.
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Laura.
Oh, hello. I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you live near here?
No, I live downtown. What about you?
I live near here.
What do you do, Laura?
I'm unemployed at the moment, but I'm a university student.
I see. What do you study?
I study information technology, IT.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm an IT professional.
Okay, if anything, try to listen again so you can complete it and understand it. Word of English, listening, that was the first audio that I put. Listening isn't easy in any language, and there are some tips in order for you to put or to check those listening. All right, 3.20, listen to the part 1 of Laura and Charlie's dialogue to check. 3.20, check 8 words Laura and Charlie use in part 1 of the dialogue. Listen again to check. So you got to listen and you got to put the words that we have here that Charlie and Laura used. So complete that part. Again, the conversation will be 3.20. There you go.
Audio 3.20.
Nice party.
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Laura.
Oh, hello. I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you live near here?
No, I live downtown. What about you?
I live near here.
What do you do, Laura?
I'm unemployed at the moment, but I'm a university student.
I see. What do you study?
I study information technology, IT.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm an IT professional.
All right, make sure that you
Audio 3.
And then we'll go to the next part. Let me read it for you. It says here, read 1 through 10, listen to the complete dialogue. Write C for Charlie or L for Laura. So you got to identify who is the person that is talking. And if it's Charlie, you put a C. If it's Laura, then you put an L in this part. Listen and complete.
Audio 3.21.
Nice party.
Yes, it is.
Hi, my name's Laura.
Oh, hello. I'm Charlie. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Do you live near here?
No, I live downtown. What about you?
Oh, I live near here.
What do you do, Laura?
I'm unemployed at the moment, but I'm a university student.
I see. What do you study?
I study information technology, IT.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm an IT professional.
Really? Where do you work?
I work for a bank.
Cool. Are you married, Charlie?
No,
Do you live alone? Do you have a girlfriend?
I live with my partner.
Oh, I see. Well, okay. Great talking to you. Bye.
Bye.
All right. It looks like she wanted to get more information in that aspect. Listen again, just in case you need to, in order to complete the D part. All right, in 321, it says here, listen again, how much can you understand? Go to 321 on page 84 to check about 50%, 60%, 80%, or 100%. So you can replay it. After you replay it, check how much you can understand, and you can write down what percentage you can understand. 50% of the conversation, 60%, 8%, or if you can understand 100%, then that means that everything it's working better in that aspect. All right. The next question that we have there, it says in pairs, what do or what don't you have in common with Charlie or Laura? So according to the things that you listen in that conversation, what do you have that is common to them? What is similar, the things that you do? All right, here, 3.5, we got, do you have children? That'll be a question. Meeting new people. And this is part even of our exams, right? I take some things from this so I can put it in the exam. So make sure that you can answer any of these questions that we have here. It says, do you live near here? Do you live alone? Do you have brothers and sisters? Do you have children? Do you have a girlfriend? What do you do? What do you study? Where does your father work? What does your wife do? How old is your daughter? All right, and try to complete this part that we have with the answers on the other part and practice them. Please practice them. All right. In 3.22, it says check and repeat. The idea here it's that you can listen to this and you can start repeating. I'm not going to put it on this part because that is even part of your exam. So make sure that you complete the rest and that you check whatever you don't understand from here. It says, imagine you are at a party. Think of 6 similar questions to ask. a person you don't know, write 3 questions in each column. So start looking for the questions that maybe you can use in our oral exam, okay? Listen and repeat. I'm not going to put that listening, but if you have the book online, you can get this listening so you can practice. But that will be part of the things that we're going to have in the exam, right? The questions or some of these questions that we have here and exercises. Okay, that will be it when it comes to Unit 3. We'll see you on the next video on Unit 4. So like that, you can continue getting ready and continue practicing your English, especially so you can get a lot better. All right, bye-bye, and have a good